Hey guys, it's Jeremy from Melbourne Car Nut here. I'm here in Melbourne in my apartment, now set up as a studio with Kaysen. This is Kaysen from UDG Car Meetups. Yeah. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Kaysen.
I'm now 16 years old and I'm running a brand, UDG Car Meet, and 528 Kaysen, and I've been doing a lot of things as well. As a student in Melbourne, I think it's a lot more challenging than I thought that it would be. So yeah, it's really great to be with Jeremy here. So yeah.
So being a student at the same time as running a brand, at the same time as running a photography page on Instagram that you are very active on, do you find it difficult to sort of manage your time between doing schoolwork, keeping up with stuff that you need to do to keep the brand on top, and also fitting in your photography?
Yeah, it's really challenging at first because it's very overwhelming. Like for me in a new country and my family is not here. So for my brand, I'll basically give it to two of my really good friends. They will run it for me most of the time, and when they ask for opinions, they will find me. So they're really good mates, they help me a lot. And for my study wise, I'll most likely to put my things in weekdays, so I'll deal with it most likely in weekdays, so not in the weekends, so I will have some spare time in the weekends. For my photography page, like I got 3 times a weekend, I probably use most of them into photography. I contact and reach out different car owners, they got really nice cars, and that's why I got so many connections, because it's all about making new friends and they will introduce people to you. And I think it's a really good way for you to meet new people, got new connections, got really nice cars as well, and you know, connection is free but it's priceless, so it's really fulfilling to do it.
Do you find it challenging not being at home with your family at such a young age, and then also with so much on your plate? Or is it kind of a benefit having so much on your plate to kind of keep you so busy that it kind of keeps you away from not, or being kind of missing them? Or
yeah, obviously, but
yeah.
For my first 16 years of life, I've never left my parents more than 2 days, other than school camps or something. So when I made this decision and my parents support me to do, I think it's time for me to go out and look at the world and meet new friends and start a new life. Like, I have to learn to be independent, not relying on others anymore. I have to get everything on track. So it's a really good learning though. I would really appreciate my parents for that. Yeah.
So, wow, I think that sounds like quite a lot of responsibility that you've put onto yourself. Do you ever feel like that's a lot of pressure for you to manage all of that stuff at the same time as sort of being out by yourself and having to manage your own time and also having to manage schoolwork and the photography? Do you think, do you feel the pressure of that, or do you think you manage it quite well? And if you do manage it quite well, how do you manage it?
Yeah, I definitely feel a lot of pressure because everything is new to me and everything is a challenge to me. It's not that easy, but I figure a way out. It's all about the time, you know, the time management. Because if you don't have time management, you couldn't do anything if even you have 48 hours a day. So I would most likely to put all my schoolworks together and I will get it done really quickly. And for weekends, I will have a lot of time. It's like a canvas. So it gives me a lot of time to do all the things I wanted to do, I love to do, the most important. So that's how I maintain my photography page non-stop. I think I've stopped it for 1 to 2 months when I was first here, but everything is on track, fortunately, and thanks to all my friends, my family, my brothers, who supports me a lot, and I really couldn't live without them. Without them, I couldn't be the Kaysen or the Kaysen right now. you know.
I think I've definitely found that having a really strong foundation from family supporting you in what you do and what your dreams are, and sort of having, I get a lot of it because obviously doing something like car spotting in Melbourne and trying to become a TV presenter and do photography is quite an unrealistic goal in life, I think, for myself personally.
Yeah.
But it's nice when you have people in your corner that believe in what you're doing. Do you find that support's sort of invaluable to what you're doing at the moment?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Their support means a lot to me.
Yeah.
Without their support, I probably get a mental breakdown really soon already. Yeah, but you know, sometimes people like you a lot, but still lots of people dislike you. So you have to handle this kind of pressure, and you don't need to be like a guy who everyone likes you. Impossible. You can't really do that. But I'll try to be a really kind person, but at the same time I will keep my sharpness and something so people won't bully me or something. And at the same time, I really appreciate the people who don't like me or dislikes me, because without them I wouldn't realize my mistakes and I couldn't fix it through all of my mistakes I've ever done. And I think the people who don't like you is still a really important lesson in your life. So I would say I couldn't live without them as well. So I really appreciate that.
Really?
Yeah.
You think there's a benefit in having people in your life that don't like you?
Yeah, of
Okay.
course.
And that, okay. I sort of found the opposite. I kind of just don't have people in my life that I don't like.
Yeah.
And I have the option of that. I suppose I have the ability to do that now because I'm a lot older than you are, and also I'm not at school.
Yeah.
But I think being at school and being forced to be around a lot of different types of people, I think you definitely have a benefit in how you're going to be able to manage that in future life, because you don't like everyone all the time, do you?
Yeah.
But it's really important to work through that
Yeah.
and come to resolutions whether or not you get on with someone or not, because it's still beneficial to work together
Yeah.
in sort of long format things, and obviously doing school and projects and then doing things like collaboration.
Yeah,
You're going to meet a lot of people that you don't like sometimes, but it's still beneficial in some ways for you to do work together.
Yeah.
Keeping your personal feelings aside. So that's really impressive that you're already there at 16.
Yeah, you know, I think a society is built with a lot of different people,
Yeah.
different voices,
Yeah.
or we won't have like a really nice city behind. We don't have nice structures, and I think different voices is a really important section, because if you only have one voice, you're not going to improve or something. So at the same time, I really appreciate the one who supports, who believes in me, because I was not an outstanding student at school. I'm nothing too special, but I really found a lot of fulfillment and support and joy, and I met a lot of lifelong friends in this community. So it means really much to me, a lot. Yeah.
If I could interject, my observation is that actually you're very intelligent.
Thank you.
And actually having the ability to not only have build a working relationship with multiple different people who you really don't know very well, and also like us, we've only met once before this.
Yeah.
You hold your bearing and the way that you hold yourself. I think you come across as somebody quite a lot older than 16, which is really impressive. Do you think that because of your situation and boarding in Melbourne and being so far away from your home and your family, do you think that the level between what you were like before you came and then now after coming, do you think you've done a lot of growing in the space of time?
Of course, bro.
Yeah.
I'm going to be really honest with you. I was a really spoiled child before.
Yeah.
Like before I came here. Everything at home is done by my family, and I don't really need to do much things. Like, I just go to school, I come back from school, and then I chill. There's nothing much that I can do or I will do. I would say coming to Melbourne by myself is the biggest lesson I've learned in my life.
Yeah.
And like in a country that speaks a completely different language. Like I learned a bit of English in Hong Kong, Mandarin in Hong Kong, but we mainly speak Cantonese. So we don't really speak out of the lesson. So I think for now, my English level, obviously there's still some accent, it's not perfect, I still need to polish it, but I think it's improved by a lot for now, and my Mandarin as well, so I can communicate with the ones in China. So it's a really diverse culture and community in Australia. It helps me a lot in my life, I would say.
I think it's really interesting just as a melting pot of different cultures and how to experience Melbourne as a whole, because it's so vastly different.
Yeah.
You know, there is a lot of Chinese culture in Melbourne,
Yeah.
but there's also a lot of Indian culture. There's a lot of Lebanese and Italian and Greek culture. So it is a really interesting and very diverse part of the world,
Yeah,
I think.
I would say.
Coming from mainly speaking Mandarin and Cantonese, that must be very difficult translating all of this stuff. And do you find that do you find there's a lot of personal differences between the way people communicate in Australia? Are people more direct or less direct, or is there a difference between how people communicate?
Oh, I would say a lot, because in Hong Kong or like Chinese Eastern society or something, they don't really spread love or support by speaking or doing any actions. They just hit it in the bottom of their heart, but they never say it out, you know. But in Australia, it's like, what's good, man? And how you doing recently? I think it's really warm, you know.
Yeah.
And really supportive. And I think most of the time, like 90% of the time, people don't know whether you're supportive or not by just observing your act or something. But from speaking out and spreading positive energy out, I think it's the really important thing in the society, and a lot of people will be happier from that.
Do you think that that's part of the brand ethos of UDG that you're trying to spread with the car culture?
Yeah, definitely, bro.
Yeah.
Because like underground car meet, but not only underground people. We got people from different professionals, different cars, different categories, not only Japanese cars or something like cheaper cars, expensive cars. We are all friends, we are all brothers. We play together, and we are in a really good organization. And it's really good to meet new friends from different level of the society, and at the same time we get along with it. So this might be the really interesting point of it.
I think that's a really spot on observation about car culture and how it brings different how diverse the groups of people that it can bring together, like depending on your financial status, like whether it be an MX-5 NB model to like a Koenigsegg, there's interest there, there's passion there, there's love for the culture, and I think that that's a really big part of bringing people together.
Yeah.
Do you think that you find people in car culture tend to be, you know, a bit nicer?
I would say they are a bit nicer than my schoolmates, but I think it's reasonable, you know, when you're in a society and you're a really polished person already. Like you won't talk as straight as you do when you're young, right? So I think they appear to a bit nicer, and they talk with a lot more manner as well because of their experience in the society. But it's totally understandable why my schoolmates, classmates, whatever, they talk a bit more straightforward. I would say it's not rude, but a bit straightforward. But I would not dislike them or something, but I think it's totally normal. But the skill to learn in the society is like, for me, I've learned to be a lot more politer than me before, and I have been a lot more nicer to people, like not so rude as before. So I think it's a really growth for me.
So let's get into let's ask some questions. What part, like what kind of cars are you into with the brand? Like I know your personal, like I'm asking more about what your personal taste is. Are you into Euro stuff? Are you into exotics? Are you into JDM? Are you into classic? What kind of where do you more put interest?
For my family, I'm growing up in European cars majority, so I would like the 2810 era of cars like SLS AMG, Aventador, or those are pinnacle cars for me.
Yeah.
But when I was in like 12 or 13, I saw people hanging around in like R34 GTR, Supra. I didn't know they were really fast like that, and I was really admired by their their spirit, the Japanese spirit. Like they would use a lot less budget, less technology, but they can beat their competitors at a lot more higher level. So I have to learn from this spirit, So I would like JDM cars more for now. But I also appreciate the engineering of German motors, European cars, and something like that. I really liked it. And for like American muscles, they're really brutal, really raw, and I'm really interested in that as well. But I would say I'm more interested in like European or JDM cars for now.
Do you think, I think it's a real shame because probably you're just a little bit too young to have experienced Australian car culture with Holden and Ford, all the cars that they were, the Falcon and the Commodore that they were manufacturing here, and their offshoots, the FPV and the HSV GTSs and FPV turbos, the V6, I think it's kind of a shame because we don't manufacture really any cars, any like halo cars anymore. We used to have the HSVs for the Holden and we used to have the FPVs for the Ford. Do you have much experience with Holden and Ford?
Pretty much never, but I know a guy. It was really funny experience when I was shooting a Honda Civic Type R FD8 at Cheston. A guy with a Commodore, I think, he just walked out and say, "Bro, nice camera, nice car. Can you take some pictures for me?" And that's how I knew him. And I think for like American muscles, Aussie muscles, I think youths are really impressive things. Like they're not impractical. They're really practical. They are got a really they got a really back storage space at the back.
Yeah.
And they got really nice performance as well. So I'm so obsessed with like youths. I really liked it.
It's a very like it's such a clever it's such a clever product, I think, because it hits two things in one with practicality and then also being a performance car.
Yeah.
And just the price of these cars when they initially came out, for an SS Commodore with a manual gearbox, you're getting, I think it's about 450 horsepower, which is crazy coming out of a LS1, LS2 motors and LSA motors. So just having access to that kind of power for not a lot of money, because when I was growing up, like you could get a VE series SS for probably like $12,000 or $13,000.
Oh wow!
And now they're kind of $20,000-$30,000 for a low 30 and above for a low kilometer VE series 2 SS with a manual. So I think the thing that kind of sucks for your generation is that the accessibility with the values of these cars, like things with manual gearboxes, things that make good power, that are fun to drive.
Yeah, they're disappearing. Like the new C63S.
Yeah.
You originally got big boy V8, something like that. But now you're only left over with a 4-cylinder hybrid and it doesn't make a sound or something. I think it's really sad. So I think for the technology and the analog, The best age is the 2010. Like they
Yeah.
are the last era of the best cars.
Yeah.
And for the most,
I think I probably agree.
yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, and the best design would be like 2000s. You got Murcielago and something really great. Yeah, I would say.
So out of sort of those pinnacle Halo supercars from sort of the 2010s, what do you think your favorite would be?
Would be probably the 997.2 GT3 RS or the AMG SLS, because there's
Yeah,
no
that's
replacements for this
Yeah,
replacement.
that's a very interesting car.
Yeah.
And I suppose that I think they were trying to replace it when they introduced the AMG GT,
Yeah.
but I think without the gull wings, it really doesn't.
way.
And
Yeah.
the shape and the design of the SLS is really
Yeah, definitely.
next level. Yeah.
And that's a fun fact. For the current AMG GT, the GT4 race cars, they are still using their old engine, like the M157.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
Yeah. So there's no replacements for displacement for real. This
Yeah.
is real.
Yeah, well, I definitely agree with that. My partner Rachel's got her father has a SL55 AMG,
Oh,
which is a
wow.
2006 model or 2000. I think it's 2006 model. So that's the last of the 5.5 litre with the supercharger, and that's considered like one of the strongest motors that AMG ever produced.
Yeah.
And it's just, I think it's about 500-ish horsepower, 530 horsepower or something. Absolutely beautiful car. Like, I think for the design, like, considering at the same period of time they were going into the SLR McLaren and then also designing the SLS, I think those three cars out of Mercedes at the time were just really next level.
Yeah.
If you could buy any car you want ever without ever having to take care of the maintenance, never having to worry about parts, never having to worry about any of the practicalities that you would regularly have to worry about, what do you think you would choose?
Yeah. Maybe a gated manual Murcielago. No doubt.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow, that's a
Yeah.
that's a
Yeah.
great answer.
Yeah.
That's a really good answer.
Yeah.
Kason, what do you find, what is the reaction that your schoolmates have to what you do with cars, and is it positive or negative?
I think there's pretty much voices that talks about me at school, although I've really kept a really low profile already. Yeah, but
I find that kind of hard to believe.
yeah, because sometimes I sell some cars for my friends as well. So they just couldn't believe it, But I'm trying to be just a normal student at school because I don't want to be like attention seeker or something. So, but when they know about it, I think they're really in shock, But I think most of the voices are positive, But just some of it might be jealous or something, envy, but totally normal, I think, because not much people like me, like 16, do things like that,
No, I don't think
pretty
so.
much people were doing like hockey, footy, something like that, but
Yeah.
not really for me. I do go-kart.
Oh, well, guys, it's been Jeremy from Melbourne Car Nut Instagram and Kason from UDG, and just shout out to your Instagram.
528 Kaisen.
Yeah. Okay, thanks a lot. If you've watched this long, have a really good day.
Yeah.
See you soon.
Peace out.